Leah's officially out. What kind of went into that final decision?
Just physically feeling like she was able to play the way she wants to play. I mean, she's somebody who goes all out, and so she didn't want to be out there tentative or feeling like she was restricted. I think that's when maybe you get yourself in bigger trouble. So day to day, we're close enough to be questionable today. Um, so hopefully we continue to progress.
Share how you visualize the lineup now. I assume mine's in, but besides that, we haven't quite been through this.
We'll probably see every combination of lineup that I have tonight. I mean, we've got eight. Everybody's gonna play, obviously. Um, we'll try some different things and some different combinations. Probably try to match up as much. Honestly, it's a game where we're just probably try to match up to Connecticut and make sure we got enough size on the floor against them and enough shooting for us. So, um, yeah, we'll see some different groups.
I asked, yesterday when I asked about big lineup, you said maybe, but now you've got two bigs who are out.
Hmm.
You can still do a quote unquote big lineup.
We will see, Kareem. We'll see.
And one more, Connecticut coming off two losses, obviously will be hungry and
Yeah.
want to start fast. You always want to start fast, but
Hmm.
is it more important today, just knowing their situation that they're gonna kind of want to come out and be efficient and punch first?
For sure. I mean, I mentioned it briefly. I don't like to really belabor those things too much because, if you want to worry more about yourselves, but just acknowledgement of they're a really good team who lost two tough games on the road and they're going to come in with a certain intensity and physicality, which they normally play with. Um, yeah, I didn't think they went out to Seattle and started that game badly. They were in control for a bunch of that game and defended really well from the jump. So, I mean, I don't think it's any shock to anybody on our team how Connecticut is to play against. So, mostly we just try to focus on what we need to do to play well, to defend them, and score at the other end, and obviously keep them off the glass.
Is Kira still trending upward pretty consistently, or is she back to kind of up and down?
She's been sick for a couple days, so that hasn't helped. So I don't really have a whole lot of other updates than we're just trying to get her back to physical health, like wellness, and then we'll get on with the physical on the court part.
Got it. So she was sick yesterday.
Yeah.
She's back. Um, when it comes to leadership, I know we've talked about that a lot on this team, and you've got lots of different leaders. Is there anyone who you've seen kind of step up as a leader in maybe more than you expected, or in a different way than you maybe thought that you would see from them early in the season?
I think I'll just highlight a couple of vets. I think Steph, um, just seems to have settled in well to that role. She was kind of new to the group. She's not new to us necessarily, but new to the group and has found her times to even just stop in practice because she sees so much of what's going on the court. A lot of it's just kind of basketball leadership in terms of helping her teammates see what she sees. And then I think Shatori has really every day made a point of coming in and bringing energy, particularly to that bench group. She's kind of been the de facto voice for that group, and whether it's in game or whether it's been a day where maybe some people like the more low minutes group had to do some extra work, she's just been really consistent and steady. And that shows, kind of maturity for where she's at in her career.
Steph, the first time you had her early years of her career, what do you kind of remember about her? What's different now?
Um, I mean, she's like the same personality, but I think she just has a she's more comfortable with who she is and where she belongs in this league and how she can help a team. You just hope for that. I mean, you'd hope for that between 22 and whatever she is now, 31. I don't know. I should know her age, but I don't. Is she 32? Okay. Um, you'd hope for that for her, just that growth in her own life and as a player. But it's nice to see. Um, Everybody knew coming out of college that she had a really good basketball brain, especially for a big, and I think she's figured out how to use that and help a variety of teams. Um, I love that she's shooting the ball as aggressively as she is, and then I think she's made real strides defensively. I think it's been one of the kind of the unsung things for our group this year is she's taken the challenge on really big physical post players, and at the same time, like we're watching the game the other day against Dallas, and she's up at screens trying to discourage Enrique from shooting and then getting back and trying to block out Tier. And it's a really tough challenge, but I think that's a real improvement.
We're talking a little bit about the Olympic break coming up, and I know that you've got several players who are in contention still for Olympic sports around the world. What's that kind of waiting game been like, and what does it mean to you to have so many players who could go off and be Olympians here in a couple weeks?
I hope everybody who's in contention makes their national teams. I think it's great. It's a huge moment of pride for them and for us. I'll wait till that happens to speak on it any further, but I don't know. We're kind of making our plans for what was the second part of your question? Can't remember. But
I think I said, how are you waiting to you to have them, have so many players?
It's great. I think it's a great experience for them, but it's also just a high point of a career. I wish success for our players. So obviously that's a big part of it. And then we'll have some nice quality time with the ones who are here.
You actually place your 3-point shooting. She also was a huge those matches too. But without giving away those kind of intricacies of what you want from maybe the 3 position. What are different ways you can experiment? Yesterday you talked about using that player. You had Maisha practicing at 3 yesterday too. What elements are you looking for in that 3 spot?
I think other people have to be who they are and bring what they bring to the table. Nobody has to try to replicate her exactly. Didi does it one way, and if Ariel plays up a position at the 3, that's different. If we play a big lineup, Emily, Maisha, those guys do it a different way. People just got to be who they are. We got to just adapt and find different solutions. I think I pretty much kept Ariel or Carly on the court almost every minute this year, one or the other. I don't have that option, but we got to manufacture that different ways. So it's a challenge for the coaches, and then if players play well, it makes life easier.
A few years ago, we talked about her kind of point forward type role, but what can you see from her? We know she can shoot the
yep.
We know she can be aggressive at certain times to go downhill, but what can we see from her moving into this position, how she would be able to fill that?
I try to, when we have lineups, whether it's going small or going big, I really try to reiterate to players, you don't have to play completely differently. Like we used to get, we'd go to a small lineup and a guard would be at the 4, and they'd suddenly try to be a big. I'd be like, no, just play basketball, play your game, just know the plays from that spot, space the floor, catch and attack, all the normal things you do. So it's the same when you go to a bigger group. You got to know kind of where you're supposed to be on some of our offense, but you don't suddenly need to be out there handling the ball and running a million pick and rolls. Like that's not what you do. Play your normal game. Set screens, roll or pop, rebound the ball, cut when you're supposed to cut. We don't have to overcomplicate it.
We'll go to Zoom. Tarika.
Hey, Eric, how are you?
Hey there.
Just wanted to ask you about Steffi Dawson and just how, important she's been for this team over the last couple of games. She's really played well, shot well from outside. What are you expecting to see from her tonight? How do you plan to utilize her more in your offense?
We'll see how Connecticut matches up, to be honest. I've got a suspicion they may cross match a little bit and have Alyssa guard her like they did last time. So that might change a little bit where we put people on the floor and who we put in ball screens and how we use her, but generally it's the same. I mean, when she's in screen, she's a threat to roll or pop. When she's off the ball, she's a really, elite big as a floor spacer. And then she's got a tough matchup on the other end with Bree Jones. So nothing radically different. It's just maybe little tweaks here and there depending on who she's playing with, who her big partner is, and how Connecticut decides to match up.
One more, if I can. Ariel Atkins, again, she really has caught fire over the last couple of weeks. Outside of having a rocky start, just what have you seen from her in terms of her preparation, or is it just mostly just her being a vet, knowing that she can settle in?
Yeah, her preparation's always good. I mean, it's always the same. It's one of the things we love about her. Maybe just a little more settled in where she knows she's going to get her shots. finding her timing offensively and, whether to shoot or play off the bounce. We're getting a little smarter about how we screen for her and how we create space for her. A lot of new teammates, that's kind of to be expected.
Yeah.
But even over the weekend against Dallas, she didn't have like her best offensive games, but she was the clear steadying force for our team through both of it, especially on Sunday when we weren't starting great. So, she brings so much more to the table besides her scoring, but as we've seen, she can also carry that load too.
Thanks, Eric.
That's it, Coach. Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys.